How would you respond to your partner physically assaulting you during an argument? Like, you know how you get into a heated argument possibly and the other person might hit you, slap you, something physical? How would you respond to a situation like that?
Yo, Soso, you looking fabulous today.
Thank you, babe. You looking good too.
Thank you. You know your
Always.
voice. Always? So you saying I always
looking
look good?
Yes, you always look
I really
good.
like how you dress though. You know how to like put stuff together.
Thank you.
Yep, so you about ready to go make these runs real quick? So it's gonna be a long day today.
Yeah, well actually there's a couple of things that I wanna ask you before we leave. I had about 10 questions. I know we've been talking for a while, but these are just some questions that's been on my mind. So it's like 10 questions I just want to ask you.
But is it important? I'm gonna really take off.
It's very important. I think that, yeah, before we leave, these are just some things that, you know, I just want to know.
Oh, something I can't wait. I guess right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you said 10 questions.
Yeah, 10 questions. Nothing bad. You know, I just wanna see where your mind's at a little bit with some things. You know, I know we've been talking for a while, but it is some things that I feel like I should ask you.
Oh, okay. This was unexpected.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well.
Okay.
Oh, you wrote them down?
So yeah, I actually have them on my phone, so let me go ahead and just pull them up.
How long you been planning this right here? You got them written down and everything?
Yeah, I just come up with questions over time, you know.
Can I?
I'm gonna ask you. I can show you the top, you know, questions for Damion. You can see the.
Oh, wow.
But just some questions that, you know, over time I just come up with, just so, you know. Some things I just got down really quick in my phone.
You mind if I hit my geek bar? Because I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, you can go ahead. That's fine. Don't get nervous.
Oh, I'm just saying.
You're very well spoken. I think you'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, I appreciate that too. You're very well spoken yourself. Okay. I was going to set the GoPro up and do something different with you, but I wasn't expecting it. So let me just do a less of, what you say? This?
Yeah.
And do more of this.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be talking. I mean, I don't want to say it's like an interview, but it might feel like one.
Okay.
You'll be fine. So.
I think you're fine. So I'm sure I will be.
So I'm just going to go ahead and start with the, you know, the first question I have.
Okay.
So I want to know, Damion, what makes you feel loved the most when you're in a relationship?
What makes me feel loved the most when I'm in a relationship?
Yes.
Wow. Well, wow.
Think about it. Don't answer quick. I want you to really think about it.
What makes me feel loved the most when I'm in a relationship is one of the big key things for me. It makes me feel loved when I'm talking to my partner. And my partner actually looks at me while I'm talking, and able to answer key questions, you know, not just hear the things that she wants to hear, but she actually hears everything that I'm saying. Not just things that I'm saying that apply to her, but things that I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying the things that apply to her that makes me feel a certain type of way. Another thing that makes me feel love when I'm in a relationship is especially, I'm like a cuddly bear. Like, it makes me feel loved when I lay down and my girl don't just get in the bed and just turn her back to me. I always like when she lays her head on my chest. And, you know, but looking at me in the eye when we're talking, making eye contact with me is extremely important. Because you can be talking to someone and just be blurting stuff out, but you're not even really looking at them. You know, but looking at me in my eyes is like one of the big things. And I'm going to tell you another big thing. See, you should never ask me these questions because I can talk for days.
I know. That's why I just feel like I need to hear these things, you know.
Another big thing that really makes me feel loved is like, you know, the occasional, when we out in public, like the occasional touch, grabbing my hands, laughing, like touching me and stuff, like not like inappropriate, like if we laugh at the story, we like, oh baby, so silly. It's like, yeah, it's like the little things to me. You know that right there already. It's the little things to me that mean the most to me. Especially it makes me feel like I'm really genuinely loved when I'm in a relationship. And, you know, the fact that my partner calls my name, she's letting me know, Damion, I'm talking to you. Or, hey, did you hear me? No, you're like, Damion, I'm not playing with you. Damion, did you hear me? Damion, you know, like, I love it. It drives me crazy, you know. Wow, that was a really good question. I don't think I've ever really been asked that. You know what? I have not ever been asked that question before.
Well, now I know.
So what is this, like just a Q&A with just the questions and me answering?
Pretty much. That's why I said it might feel like an interview, but these are just questions that I jotted down.
So nobody put you up to this? You didn't put like a post up or nothing?
No, I didn't. It's stuff that I actually genuinely would like to know. So I wrote it down so I can get the answers, you know?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, so that was really good. So now the second question that I have is, I want you to really think about this because I know how you are. Do you feel like there are man and woman roles in a relationship?
Do I feel like that there are men and women roles in a relationship?
Yes. And if the answer is yes, what do you feel like are specific man and woman roles in a relationship? Or do you think it should just be equal? Like, how do you think?
Well, I'm going to say yes. I believe that there should be man and woman's roles in a relationship. You know, and this reminds me of a question you asked me on one of our challenges months ago. I said it was like a trick question, but it's really not a trick question. But I feel like that there should be a man's role and a woman's role. I believe that the man who calls himself a man, he should be able to always take the bulls by the horn. Grab the bulls by the horn and take charge. Ask questions. Don't just assume that, she's good, you know. Ask her, hey, is everything okay? Do you need anything? When I'm going to the store, hey, babe, do you need anything? Hey, while I'm at the store, I'm just randomly texting you, hey, thinking about your love. You know, let me know if you need anything before the store. I feel like as a man it should be equal in a relationship. That's why I said trick question. But the roles of a man is almost the same as the roles of a woman. But I think the man should go harder, if not being in competition with this woman. The man should go harder to try to provide more, to be more attentive, because in a relationship, whether you married or you got just a girlfriend or boyfriend, you're dating, I believe the man has to be this woman's friend. He has to be her husband. He has to be her girlfriend. He has to be a lot of characters in a woman, because your woman's going to want to talk to people to express how they feel, because they feel that a man won't listen to them. So you have to be a lot of people in one person. And you know, I know women are really, really good listeners, but sometimes men, we are not really good listeners. And sometimes that's annoying when it's like, there's no feedback. Like if you playing the role as my woman, well, not playing a role, but if you're the role as my woman and you're asking me questions about a certain situation, you don't expect me to just say, You want me to give you feedback, and you want to know why I'm saying what I'm saying. I believe, yes, the woman should work as hard as the man, but I believe at the end of the day, the man should really be there to catch most of that weight, because women bear a lot of responsibilities, whether we realize it or not. You know, and y'all different than men. And what I mean is more than just physical beings. There's things about a woman that could change how that woman feels right then and there. She can be a happy woman and can have a bad cramp that could really take her to a whole different attitude. And a man may not know why that woman has that attitude, and just assume that, oh, here we go again. Oh, you back on that. Ask, what's wrong, baby? Okay? And she may just tell you something that's going to shock you, like, babe, I had a really bad dream. I had a really bad stomach cramp this morning. You know, or she may say, you know, babe, I went to use the restroom at 3 a.m, and there was piss all over the toilet seat, and I sat in it. So you may not know unless you ask. So I believe, yes, that there should be a man role and a woman's role in a relationship. You know, people think that a woman's role is because if a man got money, they feel like that the woman should have money. Me, I'm not like that. I don't care if a woman is broke, dusted, busted, broke. Well, I don't mean like dusty, but I'm saying a woman don't have to have what I have for me to get with a woman. If she's good to me, she's honest with me, and like she's keeping it real with me. I feel like that we come into the relationship with the same thing. Everything will have to be financial. I feel like if she's a good-hearted woman, I feel like that we're gonna get along just fine. But yes, I do feel like a woman's role is just as important as a man's role in that aspect. But this is a conversation that would, it's like politics. There's never gonna be an ending to it because I can go on and on and on. But the answer is yes.
And my third question, thank you, that was really good. So I do agree. I truly do agree. How would you respond to your partner physically assaulting you during an argument? You know how you get into a heated argument possibly and the other person might hit you, slap you, something physical. How would you respond to a situation like that in a heated argument?
Wow.
That happens a lot, actually. I feel like a lot of women, they do hit the men, especially if they argue and they might slap them, hit them, throw something at them, you know.
Okay. Well, wow, that's a really good question. How would I respond if a woman physically assaulted me during an argument? Well, I will say this right here. Off of instincts, people tend to jump in defense mode. I have been put in a situation where I was physically assaulted before. This was maybe by someone that I was dating. It was like right after I moved down here to Houston. And how I responded, well, the reason for me getting assaulted is because she was arguing about something, and instead of me arguing back, I just laughed at her, and she got mad because I laughed at her. And she kind of just like, you know. But I think now with me being the age that I am, and a lot of it don't really have age, but I think what I want to say is wise. Your thoughts become your words becomes your actions becomes your character, and your character becomes your destiny. And I say that to say this, you know, we don't really know how we're going to respond in certain situations, but I would say right now today, because I do know women do hit men and assault them, but I also know men do stuff to provoke it. I know men do stuff to provoke it. If you got a woman and you're telling your woman that you're at work and you're on the way home and you're 20 minutes from home and you're supposed to be home at, like, you normally walk in about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you walk in the house at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, your wife or woman been calling you, texting you concern. You walk in the door and she's screaming at the top of her lungs trying to figure out what the hell going on, and you think that it's funny to you. Most women are going to assault a man. So I think, yes, we shouldn't put our hands on each other, but I do know a lot of guys bring it on themselves. A woman ain't going to just walk up and just smack the hell out of a man for no reason. But how I would respond to it was the most important question. Back then, years ago, even in 2018, 2019 when it happened, I still didn't react. I didn't put my hands on her. But I think how I would react to it is, honestly, I would try to defuse that situation immediately. If it continues to happen and she continues to put her hands on me, I'm going to put her out. And if that don't work putting her out, hey, you need to leave right now, I have no choice but to get the law involved. Because I feel like if I put my hands back on her, in most cases, I'm going to be a little stronger than her, a little bigger than her. And, you know, me being in, you know, I've been in prison. I told you about that at the beginning, right? You know, I never hid anything from you. I've never hid anything from you at all. I've always been open with you and transparent about everything. I have never physically put my hands on a woman ever in my life. I have never physically assaulted a woman ever in my entire life. Have I yelled and cursed? Yes, I've never physically grabbed a woman, grabbed her by her throat, physically hit her, nothing. I've had a situation where I had to defend myself, and that was pretty much pushing you off me. But I think in a situation like that, because this is a very delicate situation, and I really don't believe in men putting their hand on women. I don't. I've actually watched someone very, very dear to me that I love extremely, extremely dearly. I mean, love extremely dearly. Um, I watched someone that I love extremely dearly get physically abused multiple times. It's just, so I would, yeah. So basically, I would actually, again, I would do what I can to defuse the situation. And if she keeps putting her hand on me, I'm going to eventually have to tell her to leave or call the police. Sometimes as men, we do stuff on purpose so our woman can physically hit us because we think it's cute to see just how much that she really loves us. But a woman should have to put her hands on a man to prove how much that she really loves him. But that's what I would do. I would try to walk away from her or you. I don't think I'm going to strike you because when we do stuff out of anger, as you both know, when two people argue, they don't yell nice obscenities at each other.
Obviously.
When two people argue, they say the worst things that's going to hurt each other. But if you were to strike me, I don't think I would strike you back at all. But I do know what I would do next would probably cause you to strike me even more because I'll laugh in your face, call you all out your name, and you really gonna be pissed off. But I'm not going to hit her back because there's other ways to deal with it. There was a part of me at one time that probably would have like, shoot, you gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit you too. I think we've all said it, but will I actually physically do it? I've never done it. Just quiet mode. Right there.
All right.
Let me see. Wow, this is scary.
But I still feel like women shouldn't put their hands on men and men shouldn't put their hands on women. I feel like if you're going to start doing that, it should be something that's confronted immediately. Like, you know, in a relationship.
Yeah, it needs to be
addressed. Like, as soon as it happens, it should be just seethed.
And then after, yes, and I don't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry. And then after, like you guys get over what led to the altercation, and y'all apologize, make up, everybody's back home. I don't think the situation should just be let go and thrown under the cover. I think it should be talked about and addressed. Right. So next time it doesn't happen as far as the physical. You know, sometimes talking stuff out, it does work. You know, it does. Like, I used to be one, I argue 2 or 3 days later, everything back together, and then we don't talk about it no more. But it's still a situation that needs to be addressed of why it happened in the first place. What made you get so angry when you put your hands on me? What made me feel like it was okay to tell my woman, I'll be home when I get off work at 3:30, and I walk in the house the next day in the early a.m. some laughing, smelling like alcohol. You know, I don't think that that's funny. So, but yeah.
You said I'm scared. I'm
Yeah.
scared. Okay. I guess the next question, yeah, so this one's going to be pretty good. How can you tell the difference between a woman trying to use you and a woman who genuinely values and wants to be with you for the long term? How can you tell the difference?
Wow, it's really odd that you asked me this question. You know, before I answer the question, I want to say something to you. So I woke up this morning, and you know, like your phone has premieres on it. I guess somebody sent you a message on Instagram and stuff like this. So it was this premiere I had on my phone this morning. And this lady, it's a troll account, obviously. She sent me a message like 3 months ago. And she was saying this and saying that. And it's just like an example. And then I look at her profile, 0 pictures, follow one person, the other thing, 0 pictures. And she had so much to say. But I never responded much. So this morning I woke up. It says, oh, you need to be careful. The red flags on Soso was right there. All the red flags is right there. You need to be really careful with her. Exactly. She says, I see the red flags. And you know what I did? I went right to her profile and I blocked her. And then I went to look at my video that we dropped recently. Which one was it? We dropped this today. You and Damion choosing what I do for my birthday. And I seen that same person under a troll account name saying red flag, so I blocked her. So when I see stuff like that, I laugh at them because recently I have seen comments where people say, you barely know her. Y'all don't even know each other. Y'all just started dating. And that means that we both are doing something right. You know what I'm saying? It means people don't really know just how long that we've been talking. They feel like that we just started talking or something. But what they don't know, this just didn't start 5 months ago. This didn't start 6 months ago. This didn't start 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months ago, guys. We've been knowing each other for a while. And what people don't realize is that you do just as much for me as I do for you. And that's what people don't see because we don't put everything on camera. But the question was, again, I'm sorry, how do I know when someone's using me and when someone's genuinely for me?
Yes.
I know when somebody is genuinely with me for me. And how I know somebody is using me. A person is using me, I feel like one of the signs I would notice is they're always asking me for stuff. And they would usually only call me or reach out to me if they need something from me. But I don't really hear from them on a regular basis, like, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? A person that's asking me about my health, how I'm doing every single day. A person that's constantly wanting to know if I mean, woman asking a man, hey, did you eat today, babe? And want to know, what have you eaten today? And you tell them, and they're telling you, oh, babe, stop eating that because it's not good for you. This is the reason why. You can always tell, like the woman's not asking me for anything. I'm just doing the stuff. She don't throw little subliminals like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this today. Like, I never ever hear that. It's kind of hard to explain. You can tell when a person's using you. Again, like I said, there are so many signs. I think someone said something about the tattoo that I showed in the video, put my name on you. And they felt like, oh, they don't even realize that's... I don't want to really say too much because I don't think it's appropriate to let everybody know too much personal stuff. But you can always feel when a person's using you. Like I said, I've been used before more than one time, on more than one occasion. I feel like if a person is not really into you, they don't really compliment you and stuff like that, you know, they just there for the ride. I feel like what I'm doing now, I feel like, you know, if this all went away, I feel like that my relationship would still be solid because it's not built off materialistic things. I feel like you came into it, and I know the question is just not about you, it's just about examples.
Right.
But you came in with your own stuff, like you have a very, very, very good career. And so I feel like, you know, that we both can add to each other, you know, and if you were to ask me if I feel like that you're using me, and if someone were else to ask me, do I feel like you're using me, I'll just look at them and laugh because they don't really know what's going on.
Right.
Like, how can you know what's going on based off a video? They don't know the amount of time we spend together, the things that we do. You know, I guess they don't realize that we're praying people. Well, I'm not gonna say they, but it's the people who does like the weird stuff, like with the IG messages. But you know, you can always tell when a person is using you. But if I was asked if I feel like I was being used, absolutely not. This one brings as much to the table as I bring to the table. The only difference between Soso and myself, my business is on social media. Her business is off of social media. And that's really all it needs to be really said. But yes, you can always tell when someone's using you and when somebody genuinely loves you. But we're gonna try to speed this up a little bit, y'all.
Okay, so my second question, it might kind of be like the last one, but maybe a little different. So it is, do you feel like you have poor judgment of character when it comes to people that you allow in your life?
Yes, I do. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I have a very poor judgment of character when it comes to the people I allow in my life. Because I'm the type of person, you know, I come from a very big family. A lot of people in my family been married for a lot of years, and they came from nothing to building their own, you know, little small business, working on houses and contracting companies. And I felt like me always wanting that family, which I'm accustomed to having a family. You know, I was married for a long term. I was so used to that family life, and it's like I always wanted that because it grew on me. And now that it grew on me, it's actually in me. It grew in me as well. And it's like I feel like I had a wrong judgment of character because I allowed my lust to make the decisions for me, not really thinking long term. And so I believe a lot of decisions that I made, you know, weren't really the best decisions, you know, as far as my judgment of character. But yeah, I believe that my judgment of character has really played a big role in things that happen to me. And, you know, I blame the other person instead of blaming myself. because really I could have made better decisions, better judgment of character. So I think that played a lot of roles and things, you know. Yeah, in my life. I hope I answered that right.
You did. I think a lot of it sometimes I feel like I could have a poor judgment of character too, because you just feel like you have a big heart.
And that's one thing I've been told.
Like giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Oh my God, my family tells me all the time, like, Damion, you have a very big heart. People would take that and squish it. They will take it and squish it. They will squish it, man. And then, you ever hear that saying, people leave you for dead and get mad when you survive?
Yeah.
And it, you know, yeah, it was one of those situations, man. Like I know my heart. I know I'm a good person. I know I am. I mean, you've been talking to me, man, for quite a while now. You ain't seen me switch up.
Kept it wrong.
Yep.
So the next question, it might be getting a little super personal, but here we are.
It's all good. I mean, if I'm not comfortable answering it on camera, I won't answer it on camera. But I'll answer it to you personally.
All right. So me knowing that you have 7 children, this is a question I would like to ask. How do you feel about having more children in the future?
You know, wow. I mean, me having 7 children, how I feel about having more children in the future, you know. I wouldn't mind having another child in the future, but I would not do it out of marriage this time. I have to be married. I want to be married. I want to have a family. I don't want to just be having kids like that anymore. Yeah, I don't want to keep doing that. You know, and I know that might sound strange, like, man, 7 kids later now, you know, I always wanted to, first I had trust issues, so I never wanted to get married again. You know, and now I do want to get married again. Do I want another child? Yes, I do. I know children come with a lot of responsibilities. You know, and I have, you know, small ones that I'm trying to, you know, get things situated with right now. And so, yes, you know, I do want to have more children. I want to have that family life. I want to wake up one day and all of my rooms in this house is full. I got a 4-bedroom. I want all those rooms to be full of toys, TVs, beds. I want to go in there and yell at them and tell them to pick this stuff up, get that food out the room. I want to do the family stuff just like everybody else do. So yes, I definitely would want another child. Even if that make 8 or if it make 9, whatever happens, I just want to be married. And I don't think that's too much to ask for, because, you know, I divorced about 5.5 years ago, and I didn't rush right back into another marriage. You know, and so I felt like I get married, I definitely want another child. I want a child by my wife. You know, I want a child by my wife, not by my girlfriend or somebody that I'm just dating or seeing. Because it means more to me. I want that whole family set up. I worked hard for all this just to get to that point and meet that special someone. You know, to start that family with and potentially have another child one day. So yeah, I would.
Alright, the next one. How would you respond in a situation where your partner is mentally or not mentally stable, or dealing with some form of addiction, whether that be like alcohol or drugs, while you're already in a relationship?
Okay, if it's going on now, if it's okay, I'm glad that you put that on the end. While I'm in a relationship and I feel that she's already, like, we're in that relationship, I'm already deep into her, I can't turn my back on her.
Right.
If I feel like that she has a problem, addiction, as me as her husband, her man, it's my job, it's my duty, it's my responsibility to help her with that situation. I'm not going to turn my back on her. But because what's a problem for her is a problem for me. Because it's going to not just affect her and me, it's going to affect our entire household. It's going to cause problems. It's going to cause financial issues. She's going to have to get help, and I'm going to help her get help. I'm not going to sit there and dog her, but I'm going to show her tough love. Whether she wants to get the help or not, I'm going to nearly force her to get it. I'm gonna be on her top every day. Like, listen, you need to stop doing those drugs. You need to stop doing that. You need to quit. You got people out here that's addicted to stuff like pornography, where they can't stop watching porn. You got people out here who's addicted to sex. We all love sex. We love it. It feels good. But we have people that's just overly addicted to it, where they can't go without it. They can't get it at home. They want somewhere to get it, and that's not cool. You got people that's addicted to alcohol. You know, drugs. Drugs is like the #1 leading cause of addiction. And I believe in trying to walk that person through it, because if you love somebody and you really true to them, you don't turn your back on them. So I would definitely, my response to them would be to help them. I want to help them. You know, that's my responsibility. That is my responsibility. Yep.
Thank you. So next one, do you think a relationship can be repaired after someone cheats? Think about that hard, huh?
For me, so.
It's a wrap.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a wrap, but for me, one of my biggest issues has been trust issues. You know, and I have been cheated on multiple times. It's like, for me, it's like, even if you forgive the person, in a way, you're still letting them know that they can get away with it. You know, I just feel like that would be something that would have to need some extensive work on it, because it's like, if I'm giving you all you got, me, then why would you have to go cheat on me? Like why would, oh God, that's a herder. That is a herder. But it's like, it would be hard to forgive, because it's like my trust issues was almost like a drug addiction. It was like something I could never get over it. I used to say so many times that I'm not trusting nobody, you know, and finally I have let my guards down. Now I've let my guards down, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah,
you know that.
I know.
You know that. It wasn't easy for me to let my guards down. You know, but I forgive. I can forgive them and really not ever mess with them or deal with them ever again. I can forgive them in my heart.
Yeah. So in other words,
but it would be hard for me to move forward, because it would be so hard for me to move forward. I would want to, in my heart, I would want to move forward, especially if we got time invested in each other. But it would be so hard for me not to look at her and not think about the other guy that was kissing all on her body and touching all over her. It would be hard. It would be so hard. Because when I think about a person cheating, I go deep into the thoughts of, how was he touching her body? How was he caressing her? I know it might sound kind of weird. What type of sounds was she making with him versus the sounds she made with me? I go deep into it when it goes to cheating. I think about, you know, was he rubbing her neck and back and doing it? You know, it would be so hard for me. It would be hard. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know if I can answer that question without really lying. You know?
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I think cheating for me is a deal breaker. Because like you said, once it happens once, it's like you're giving them the green light. Like, it's okay. I'm going to forgive you.
You're literally giving them the green light. There's no doubt about it. I mean, where you go?
I have to, but I'm just going to ask the last one. Do you think a woman's number of partners matters, or in other words, her body count matters when going into a relationship with a man?
Honestly, that is an important part of it. But when I look back at things, you know, like me, I have multiple children. And so I'm no one to sit here and try to judge a woman who has multiple body counts in her past. You know, because we got to remember that pastor used to be a drug dealer before he became a pastor. A pastor was a pimp before he became a pastor. A pastor spent time in prison before he became a pastor. You know, I think, like, if a woman has a lot of body counts on her, and it's a new relationship, and she's cleaned up her act, and she's really got it together, you know, you have to say that she had a past before she met you. He had a past before you met him, so you shouldn't really hold a person's past on. If a woman got a lot of body counts on her back then, that doesn't define her as the woman that she is today. You know, I think at some point we was all buck wild at one point in our life. You know, but I don't think that should really matter, because would you rather meet someone who's never cheated on someone before, or would you rather meet someone and be with them long term if they never dated anyone else before? No, you want to be with somebody who's dated before, somebody who's cheated before, somebody who knows what it's like to be out there, because if you don't, you cuff them and you're all that they know, they're going to always wonder what they're missing. So at least if you got that person who's been through that, they know what they're missing and what they're not missing out there. Therefore, they don't have a reason to want to go do it, if that makes sense. But no, I don't think that she should be judged, because the only thing that should matter is how she's treating you. Is she cheating on you? You know, because she could turn around and say, well, don't you got such and such kids? Don't you got this many children? So, like, you really can't judge. And I don't feel like because she had body count people that got together that she did anything wrong. She was just living her life. She didn't do anything wrong. You know, she didn't do nothing wrong at all. You got something to tell me?
No.
Just kidding. But go ahead and ask me that one that you were going to skip over. We got one more, guys.
So I guess this is me probably giving you an opportunity to ask a question. So, what's one thing that men are afraid to ask women?
Look.
I cannot with you. Seriously.
Question that men are afraid to ask women. There's one thing for me, like, I'm not going to sit here and cap. I would ask you. I mean, you're younger than me, obviously. But people think that you're just so young. They don't even know the truth. Let's just say black don't crack. We carry it very well. One thing that I would want to know, that I would be afraid to ask, is I would want to know that am I truly, really the only person that you're dealing with? I didn't say man, woman, the only person that you are dealing with when it comes to being intimate, saying I love you, and that we really going to make this work. Am I really, truly the only one? That's a question a lot of men are afraid to ask women, because in most cases they know a woman's going to lie to them because they know how much it's going to hurt him.
Are you asking me that question?
I mean, that's one of the questions I would be afraid to ask one, but I would ask the one to answer. Hell yeah, I'm asking that question.
Well, absolutely. The answer is yes. I feel like grown people, at this point, you can be honest and say, no, you're not the only person I'm dealing with. Or, yes, you are. I mean, it's either one or the other. I don't feel like people at a certain age have to lie about it anymore. People date multiple people all the time, and it's like, you can choose which lifestyle you want to be a part of. I just don't think it's that complicated. It's not that hard.
And I guess I could ask another question since you opened the door for that, and then we're going to end it.
Okay.
You know, I guess my question would be to you is, you've been knowing me for quite a while. You know, the question would be is, are you genuinely happy being with me?
I'm very happy, and I feel like not only me telling you that I'm happy, I feel like I truly do. And I show it to you daily.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I agree with that 100%.
I'm definitely happy, and if I wasn't, I would let you know.
Yeah.
You would feel it, and I would see it.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, this was an unexpected video right here. But I guess for the one or two, you know, wants to slide into my DM and ask me the weird questions about being used and red flags. Listen, the one thing that you cannot do, man, is stop what God has planned, man. We both pray every single day, man. You know, and we see stuff, we choose not to respond to it. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to respond to. She wasn't going to allow me to respond, you know, and I'm glad that I didn't. We prayed about the situation. Did it make the situation go away? No, it didn't. But you know what it did to the situation? It brought peace to me. It brought peace to my household, to my family. And so, you know, people are going to always think what they want to think, especially when they see somebody new in your life. And they think that person is new in your life, but they don't realize that person has been there for quite a while. It's just new to them people because they're just now seeing you more. But anyway, I mean, that was a pretty good video, though. I mean,
well, I appreciate you for answering all those questions, you know, giving me a little bit more feedback about you, who I'm with, you know, your values.
I mean, everything that you see about me, like, moving forward, it won't be pretty, you know, but just know a lot of it is not true. You know, I made crazy mistakes in the past, decisions, you know, and I got myself out of them. I'm not a cheater. I've told you that. I've said it before on this platform multiple times. I don't put my hand on women. I don't do all that crazy stuff, man. There's some, you know, people hear about me on the internet or whatever. But just know I am that. I'm him. I'm him. I'm a hard worker.
Okay.
I love hard. I love hard. I'm a good person. I'm very outgoing. I love to have fun. Like I said, I don't have to really tell you this because you already know all this. I mean, this stuff you already know about me. But I think it was a really cool video. You guys comment down below and smash that like button. So she hit me with a surprise I was not expecting. But at the same time, I'm glad that you did. Now, are you ready to make these runs?
I'm ready.
Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. Good job. So you did good. Give me a hug. I like that. That was actually. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, what you get? Get the heck away from me.
Those little taps.